There's a game within the game. And you gotta know everybody's a part of the football field. Everybody's in the game, even the referee. I would hide behind the referee.
That's it. That's another one,
I would
baby.
stand behind the ref. He's part of the game.
Hey, it ain't enough Omahas for Ed Reed, man. You go Omaha all day, I'm getting that motherfucking interception. So just go ahead
You know Omaha don't mean shit, though.
Nah, it do now.
It's a bluff.
It means multi-million-dollar company now.
Oh, yeah,
but
no doubt, no doubt.
First up, we have the born and bred DC local, BET Award winner and Grammy nominee, Wale!
Wale!
Yeah! Next, we have Super Bowl champ, Hall of Famer. Give it up for Ed Reed! Give it up.
Yeah, I fucking love DC. What's up, DC? I haven't been here in a while, but I love it here.
DC is one of your favorite cities.
Why
is that?
That is an absolute fact. Growing up in Akron, I had really only seen really one type of black or one type of black people. And you know, most of the people, black people in Ohio, almost all are struggling. There are a few who are doing better than others. I always say the ones who are doing better just happen to have a good job, which is defined by my aunts and my grandmother as just a job that gives you benefits and you can put some money in 401k, but nobody's doing great. And when I came to DC, it was the first time in my life I got to see all different types of black people from other countries, from other places, all different economic backgrounds. It was the first time I was like, oh, it's not just one version of black, and it really opened my eyes and changed how I live the rest of my life. And for that, I will always be grateful to DC and always love coming back here because seeing all the black people in this room and around the city is always beautiful to me.
I love that. I feel like you can't have a DC conversation without this gentleman right here in front of us, Mr. Wale. Give it up for Wale one more time, please. Since day one, you've always carried that flag, waved it proudly. What has DC meant to you personally and professionally since day one?
You know, I had to go through the trials and tribulations, the trial and errors, the love, the hate. I wasn't even ready for the hate. Like, I wasn't ready. I was still a kid. I had just, left school. And but it shaped me, from working at downtown locker room and Sprint and, with leaving Virginia State to Bowie State. And then, driving my little Camry on 50 to get to Bowie State, hustling up my mixtapes at the downtown locker room. And when they had platinum back in the day, we was in there all the time with the CDs and all of that. And it just shaped me, man, the good and the bad.
Absolutely. Ed, well, you know what? Let me address you properly. Super Bowl champion, Ed Reed.
Hall
Let's
of
give him another
Famer,
hand.
Hall of
Bing,
Famer.
please.
Hall of Famer. I got you, Ed.
Hall of Famer. There you go. Put
We
some
got
respect on his name.
Yeah, you gotta say HOF. I'm in the Hall of Fame in high school, college, pros. And believe it or not, I still gotta take a goddamn class to coach in high school. I'm volunteering, by the way. I ain't coaching. I gotta
Respect. Shout out to Ed, volunteering, a Hall of Famer.
He got a gold jacket and he's still learning. That's
Yeah,
what's
'cause
up.
you know that down in Bethune ain't work out.
Oh, we seen.
What? We saw it.
We seen.
We
We was with you though. We was with
Already.
you. We was with you, coach. We was
Already,
with you
bro.
though.
But Ed, you brought up, we don't gotta talk about Bethune, but you still have the coaching bug. You want to coach.
You want to teach.
Yeah, I'm about to volunteer at my son's high school. I mean, it's something I do, man. I had my football camp, at my high
Coach
school.
Loxley at University of Maryland. Hire Ed Reed. We need some Florida. We need them Florida kids.
Let's go. I'm sure open for it. It just got to be the right situation. But I've been having my football camp at my high school for 20 years. I started my foundation in Baltimore, and it's still up and running. I still work with kids. It's not going to stop just because of that situation. I actually thought that was purpose-driven, because it did bring light to, a lot of situations that's out there with our schools, and I'm not gonna stop. I still keep in contact with kids over there. I had 3 kids that enrolled in the school because they thought I was gonna be the coach, and they can't leave. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
That's tough.
And you had other kids that were gonna come and they chose not to, go on other recruiting trips. They had to go to BCU. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of situations about it that a lot of people didn't know. For one, I was not discouraged about the situation. I did want to coach over there. Even when they were kicking me out, I still wanted to stay because I knew what we were going to do. I already knew what we were doing.
I think somebody of your stature, the general public knows that somebody like you don't have to do it. So you're doing it because you want to do it, And I think that was what the community, the collective football community's opinion on that was like, man, how you going to fumble this? You got an NFL Hall of Famer, with the Rolodex that is long as time. What I'm saying? We gotta take care of that. You feel me?
And not just the NFL Hall of Famer. This man is unanimously the best to ever live to play his position as safety.
Yes.
You played high school. You were great in high school. You went to the University of Miami, which is one of the great universities.
That's the HBCU, by the way, y'all.
It was in 2001, 2000, yeah.
Tell 'em.
In the early 2000s, the University
your football history, we're the closest thing to HBCU. I'm just trying to tell y'all.
So,
just trying to tell you.
And then you were drafted by the Ravens. But Ed, when did you actually become a professional in your mind?
When I went to the University of Miami.
I knew that.
Yeah, soon as...
38 drafted players?
Well, even as a regular person, once you out of your parents' house at high school, you're in the real world. Once you hit Howard, you're in the real world. You understand? Like, once I hit college, I already knew this is my job. This is my livelihood. They giving me a scholarship, but I got to earn this.
And Ed, at 18 years old, you felt that, freshman year.
I was 19. Yeah, I was 19. Yeah, my birthday in September.
And Wale, for you, as a professional rapper and a writer, I actually would call you a writer. What keeps you inspired? What keeps you, because you've written a lot of songs, a lot of number ones, multi-platinum albums, have been on a diamond album, big records, Matrimony, which we all love, all these records, right? Lotus Flower Bomb. What keeps you going back to the pen and putting words down like I want to write some more and write my greatest song still isn't written?
All I know is work. You know what I'm saying? My father drove DC cabs for years. My mother was a nurse in DC. All they did was work. I barely would see them when I was growing up. So since a kid, whatever I was going to do, all I was going to do was work. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even really know nothing else but work. It's to my detriment in some ways because I don't really have no hobbies. If I'm not like chilling, I'm in the studio. I know my record labels be mad, and my studio budget be looking like a Social Security number, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's all I know is the work, man. That's it.
Ed, what kept you inspired through your journey of your career?
Man, I ain't never had nothing. I came from nothing.
You still feel that way?
I came from a one-bedroom apartment. No, I don't feel like that, but it's teaching the youth those values to keep them going. Man, my parents worked their ass off, 5 kids in a one-bedroom apartment. My motivation was easy. We didn't have much. You know what I'm saying? But once I got there, it was like, okay, I'm not just doing it for myself, There's other kids watching me, other people watching me, my people watching me. That's why I do multiple things. I'm not just an athlete, I didn't want my kids to look at he's just a dumb jock, and we so much more than that. That's why I wanted to be so much more.
And one thing I always wanted to ask you, the play where you baited Peyton Manning on the post and reverse, he pumped and you faked him. I literally was watching that, this is a true story, and saw Peyton Manning that day, literally, and told him, I wanted to speak to him about it. I said, I was just watching this series on NFL Films, and Belichick, Bill Belichick, who's considered the greatest football mind, for sure the greatest defensive mind, says on the show, this is the greatest defensive play in the history of football. So I start to bring it up, and before I can finish, Peyton Manning goes, I know exactly what play you're talking about. Here's how it went down. He breaks the play down for me. And it's a play where Ed literally makes a genius play. That is a football play, but really is not football, it's a chess move. What you did was more of a chess move. It was more strategic. It was more being thoughtful, being studied, and then being poised in the moment to pull it off, which in life, I'm an entrepreneur, it's all the same thing. You can study for something as much as you want, but then when the moment arises, can you relax, have poise, and deliver?
It's about the reps you put in. It was repetition, constantly repetition. That week, I'm watching film in my basement, and I'm actually watching the film.
How much film did you watch every week, Ed?
Oh man, I was, football is all we had. You know, like I'm in the basement watching the play, telling my financial advisors, cause they watching tape with me. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna open up like this. He gonna think I'm going to the middle, and I'm just gonna turn. You make the sound so complicated.
It's complicated.
It was the easiest play, one of the easiest plays I ever made.
What he's leaving out is Peyton said he would pump fake, and every other safety would bite on the pump fake, and the minute they bit on the pump fake, he didn't even have to look. He would throw the go route. So
I knew exactly that.
So Ed act like he bit, but he actually was ahead of the game and intercepted the ball.
I knew he was watching guys like that.
It's not simple, by the way.
It was.
It's not at all. Don't let him lie to y'all, man. That shit ain't easy.
It's a genius. I'm sorry for non-football fans. I'm trying to explain to you, like, it's really chess. It's being
It definitely is.
at full speed.
No doubt, because if plays happen like this, and if you're playing against Peyton, you're right back on the line. But I knew if Peyton pumped that way, he threw that way. I just had to make it look like I was doing something else. When all honesty, I didn't even have to do that. If y'all ever see that play again, Peyton don't even look at me. He got
everybody else. By the way, just so we're clear, everybody else in the league fell for this pump.
Yeah, everybody fall for it because they not studying him. I'm looking at Peyton every time he come out the huddle.
I'm pretty sure they were studying him, bro.
In my basement.
I'm pretty sure
study him, but they don't
it's
know what to
Peyton Manning,
look
bro.
for.
You gotta study him.
But a lot of people study him, but they don't know how to study. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people.
So that's my question. So you actually, did you feel like you were smarter than everybody else you were playing against? Because as a fan, it appeared that way. That's what I'm saying.
No.
I'm telling you, it appeared. I'm not joking.
I honestly think it's an instinct thing, and he trying to put it like some kind of. It's
He's
an
smarter.
instinct thing. It's just an instinct thing, bro.
And he's
I think
smarter.
You did it in repetition.
Smarter.
You did it the whole.
No, I never thought I was smarter than anybody on the field. I thought I was best out there on the field.
Yeah, there it is.
I mean, there's a game within the game that you have to play. A game within a game that coaches can't feel. You know what I'm saying? Us as players, we can feel that. You know, it's like an entertainer when he's interacting with the crowd, it's certain stuff he has it in him, you know?
You gotta be a little like up in the head to play
sure.
like that. Like,
genius.
Nobody.
You gotta be a genius.
All the great Jordan, Bron,
Tom Brady,
Kobe, they all f***ed up now. Don't get it twisted.
That's a fact.
I was hiding in the shadows waiting for Peyton Manning. They all kind of f***ed up. Like,
they smoking something. They smoking something.
You gotta be like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a true chess match, like you said. And you got to know everybody's a part of the football field. Everybody's in the game, even the referee. I would hide behind the referee.
That's another one.
Yeah, I would
baby.
stand behind the ref. He's part of the game. If a receiver's running a route and the DB runs into the ref, there ain't gonna be no flag. So I'm using every part. Peyton does it. Brady did. Brady would motion the whole audience if he could, just to get the right matchup, though. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know the game.
That's
It ain't
strategy.
enough Omahas for Ed Reed, man. You go Omaha all day. I'm getting that interception. So just go ahead
You know Omaha don't mean though.
Nah, it do now.
It's a bluff.
It means multi-million-dollar company now.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Well, Wale, let me ask you a question. As an artist, right, your job is to lead us and show us what's next. How do you do that as a writer?
Well, it's tricky because the main difference between sports and art is like sports is absolute. If you score 40 points in basketball, if you get a pick six, that's absolute. You can write the next Declaration of Independence record or whatever.
Need to
you can
write
write whatever.
It need to be rewritten.
It's all opinions in art. It's all opinions. The Mona Lisa is ugly to some people.
It's subjective, for
You know
sure.
what I'm
It's
saying?
subjective.
So you got to come to a point as an artist, if there's any artists here, you got to come to a point where you like, man, I can only do what I can do. You know what I'm saying? I can only make what I can make and just leave everything else up because you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to like play chess with the art.
As entrepreneurs, right? You're an entrepreneur in the company we've built. You're an entrepreneur. You have a cigar brand. You're repping the brand. You've been an entrepreneur in your career. Anything you can give the entrepreneurs in the room that they can take away with them that's tangible to help them in their journey.
Don't worry about nobody. All. Do your. All right? It's your lane.
There's no such thing as an entrepreneur that don't put money in their own first. Your account got to say 0.00000 on your though, because ain't nobody gonna spend money on your if you don't spend money on your I'm talking about your last though.
Invest in yourself. That's what I hear.
Yeah,
Invest
absolutely.
in yourself. Cause nobody gonna invest in you like you. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's the physical labor first. Invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Cause if you ain't taking care of you, you can't do else.
Love that. Mav, anything? Entrepreneurs in the room?
The final boss of entrepreneurs, Maverick Carter, ladies and
There we go.
I would say I agree with everything they're saying. I would say it's amazing being an entrepreneur. It's a lot of fun. It's difficult as hell at times. And if you're not an entrepreneur, there's nothing wrong with it. But I think the key is you need to look at yourself in the mirror and really talk to yourself about what does it mean to be an entrepreneur to you, and then go, am I willing to sign up for that? And if you're not, there's nothing wrong with it at all to go get a job. There's nothing wrong with going to get a job. I think that's been lost a little bit these days.
It's a sexy, ambiguous title, so it looks like it's easy to do. You know what I'm saying?
It looks like it's easy to do because of Instagram and blah, 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 blah. But don't bullshit yourself. That's the advice I would give people.
And just to add to that one thing, don't think you got to build the whole business first. You know, if you got to start in the garage, start in the garage. Don't think you got to go straight to the mansion. You know, start in your garage, build it from the garage up.
Can I ask a question to y'all two entrepreneurs?
Of course.
What's the key to maintaining relationships? Because you got so many, when you're an entrepreneur, you got to maintain so many egos, so many relationships, and you gotta be everything for everybody a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? So like, what's the key to doing that?
Yeah, I'll tell you. First of all, great question. While taking our job, we're
in the shop, baby.
I will share a personal conversation Mav and I had when we started our company. I don't know if you remember this. I asked you, what do you think will be the most important thing for us to build as our foundation? And you said to me, we always have to do good business. And it wasn't about business money, it was treating people the right way, internally, externally, doing everything we said we were gonna do, showing up, not burning anyone for $1, not thinking short term. So for me, my answer to that is, it's always doing good business and treating people good.
I agree with that. I mean, I said it.
You said it.
Yeah, I said it. So I still agree with that. Your question is maintaining relationships. When it comes to maintaining relationships with people, I make it very simple. I think you have to understand. First off, you have to be okay with selfish. I have a thing I say in the company, selfish gets a bad rap. I will not go on that tangent. We'll be here another hour and a half. But selfish, people think if I say you're selfish or I tell you I'm selfish, it's like, that means you're a bad person. It does not.
Give them the plane example.
It's very simple one. Everyone's been on a plane. They always tell you put your mask on first before helping others. Selfish should not be a bad thing. It doesn't mean you have to be an asshole to people or a jerk to people, but to maintain healthy relationships, to me, you have to understand that people are selfish, and they should be, and you have to be selfish. So I think that's the way I treat maintaining relationships. I'm fine with people being selfish, and I'm a little selfish too. Before we get out of here, how you feel about the Ravens and then the Commanders?
I feel decent about the Ravens. I see they got some injuries over there. I just saw Marlon got hurt. So, you know, they've been struggling secondary-wise a little bit the last few years. I think they'll be all right on offense, but you got to get some defensive stops. You know, I'm not sure if
always
it's a
defensive
Super Bowl,
guy. Always a defensive
but
guy.
we're always shooting for the Super Bowl in Baltimore. You know, so
Must be nice.
I can't knock that out.
And what about the Commanders? How you feeling?
Man, I'm rocking with my guys though still. So it's called Scary Terry. It's called Curtis Samuel. It's called Antonio Gibson, Chase Young.
Who's the
DC
quarterback?
forever.
Sam
DC
Howell.
forever.
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell. It's called Magic Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Josh Harris. You feel me? It's a reason to be excited again, to be a
I think you got the
fan.
right ownership in there now. I think you got better ownership that'll get out of the way and help it grow.
How much does great ownership matter?
Oh, it matters in any business. You know, if your owners are your business, it's gonna trickle down to your managers. Your managers gonna be,
Watch
know,
the fans. The storm is over now.
you know. So it don't work. I know it don't work. You know, in no business. I experienced it. You know what I'm saying? So in football, it sure matters. If your owner's told or think he knows football than the people he hired, why you hiring them?
Before we let you go to class, we're gonna take a couple questions from the crowd.
Sure.
My name is Dabness. My question is for Ed Reed. What can student athletes and professional athletes alike do while they're playing to help set themselves up for after they're done playing the game?
And in any job, you got to have an exit plan. You know, that's why you do interns. That's why you work with other people. You know what I'm saying? That's why you start a business, get your own LLC. I know a lot of cats that have gotten jobs away from football because of football helped them.
I'm from Baltimore, but I do a lot of community service work in Ward 8. Just what's a message, we're calling it the DMVB. So what's a message for those young guys down in Ward 8 that can continue just to do good work?
Well, man, listen, it's supporting each other, though, for real. It don't really cost you nothing to support in the day of social media and all of that. I think it could be a shot in the arm to whatever you're doing in music, art, or local businesses to really support each other, for real. It goes a long way, you know what I'm saying? And selflessness, I think selflessness goes a long way.
Absolutely. Wale, thank you for that.
Big time. Could I say one thing? Because there's been a lot of entrepreneur talk up here and a lot of stuff. You really never know where life gonna take you. You don't know how or when you're gonna break through. Just like you don't know how or when that hour gonna come when we check out of this place. Keep working, keep striving for success. You know what I'm saying? Putting yourself around the right people. You never know where you're gonna wind up. Keep working hard, keep striving for success, and it'll work out for you.
And that's why Ed Reed is one of the great leaders of our generation and a coach. And with that, I want to say thank you to Lexus, but most importantly, thank you all. Thank you, DC. I love it here. With that, we're a wrap, P.
Thank you, DC.
Thank you, guys.
Chocolate City.